Hello and welcome to WRGW live broadcast of GW men's basketball here taking on LaSalle in the A-10 tournament here live from Barclays Center. I'm Nick Perkins here alongside with Liam O'Murku, and we're here to take you through all the action in this A-10 tournament game. And as always, this game is being broadcast live from the Stephen E. Smith Broadcast Center. Liam, how are you feeling?
I'm really excited. On a serious note, I am actually very excited. This will be fun. This is GW's first chance to win a game in the conference tournament since 2021, when they took Fordham in the pillow fight, which is exactly where we are now. So LaSalle's warming up in front of us.
They just get hit by basketball. It's okay. We're okay.
No, the balls have just been flying towards us. But we've got the GW band to our right playing my favorite song that they play, which is Ready For It by Taylor Swift.
It plays well on the track. I like when they do Hey Baby from Dirty Dancing. I think that's a good one.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about. So we just had the Fordham Davidson game, which is why we're starting a little bit late because that game went to overtime. Fordham came out on top in that one. Came back.
Yeah, I mean, Davidson was up big with only a few minutes to play, and then they just score again. Fordham came back, forced overtime, and dominated in OT, took home the win. It was kind of an incredible choke job. It was very similar to what we saw from GW a couple of weeks ago in the women's tournament, honestly, where they're leading throughout most of the game, and it just falls apart at the key moment.
Yeah, absolutely. A few not so good flashbacks, but for GW, we've got what's become the standard starting lineup for them down the stretch here. No pun intended. We've got Trey Autry, Jacoy Hutchinson, James Bishop, the fourth, Darren Buchanan Jr., and Babatunde Akinbola, also known as Stretch. That's where the pun came in. And for LaSalle, we've got Jameer Breckus, Khalil Brantley, Deshaun Shepard, Tunde Valberg Fasasi, and Rokas Yotus. Mixed it up. They've got the names reversed here on the live stats we're looking at.
The live stats that you can see live on our broadcast is something fun that we're doing with YouTube, is that we've thrown the live stats up on the screen so you can follow along there as the game goes.
Love it.
But I like this five for GW to start. I like the adaptability they've shown all season when it comes to starting five. Obviously, Max Edwards was someone who started the season locked into a starting five role, coming off an A-10 Rookie of the Year campaign. But then, as the season went on and he struggled, they were able to adjust. We're going to take a quick break right now so we can hear the national anthem. Then we'll be right back after that to continue our preview of the game. Be sure that you don't go anywhere. Hello once again, everyone. We were a little mistaken. They're doing things a little differently here today. No national anthem just yet. But that means that we have a little more time to preview the game. And there's some key players in this game. Atlantic 10 awards were announced today for the season. Darren Buchanan thought he could have a shot at Rookie of the Year, maybe deserved Rookie of the Year, ultimately did not get it, finishing instead a part of the all-rookie first team still. James Bishop making all-conference third team, and Babatunde Akingbola making all-defensive team. For LaSalle, Jameer Brickus, their only All-A-10 representative on the All-A-10 third team. Liam, any thoughts on those?
I'm obviously biased because I've watched all of GW's games this year, but I really thought that Darren Buchanan Jr. deserved Rookie of the Year, and I understand why he didn't get it, because his team came in last place and he got injured partway through the year, but I think Darren Buchanan is coming out with something to prove today. I think he will. We got a quote from an anonymous person in the program that said, Darren Buchanan today, he will either score 4 points or he will score 40 points. So either way, I think Darren Buchanan's performance is critical to GW's success today. If he plays well, they just introduced him, went over and gave a little fist bump to the LaSalle coach and the referees. If he plays well, GW can win this game. If he does not, GW is in trouble. They're going to have their third loss of the season to LaSalle in the first ever meeting between these two teams in the postseason.
GW also has a chance to make history today as the first ever 15 seed to win a game in the A-10 tournament. Obviously, there's only been a couple opportunities for that, as Loyola Chicago, the 15th team, only joined last year, and there was no 15 seed this year in the women's tournament. But GW, their men's team today, a chance to make history. LaSalle now being introduced. The court is all yellow. I can't stand it myself, but Liam, what's the key outside of Darren Buchanan to this game for GW?
Well, it sounds simple, but James Bishop. If you get James Bishop going, then you're in luck. But really, when I went to practice before the first LaSalle game that GW played this year, when they welcomed LaSalle into DC, and I talked to a few of the coaches, and they said, I asked, what's the key? And they said, we need to stop Brickus and Brantley. So that is the key, stopping Brickus and Brantley, both obviously very, very talented players. Brickus averaging 13 points per game, Brantley averaging 15. So they can slow them down. GW was able to slow down Brickus in the second matchup. But if they can slow them down, then they are in good shape.
Absolutely. A bit of a battle of the two killer bees in this game. Obviously, GW being led by James Bishop and Darren Buchanan, while LaSalle is led by Brickus and Brantley. Both teams' broadcasters have donned the killer bee monikers for their dynamic duos. And honestly, the key to a game like this, when you're in the tournament, is just whose best players play better. Because at the end of the day, as nice as it'll be from GW if they say, get a great contribution from Max Edwards off the bench, get 5 blocks from Babatunde Akingbola. If they don't get a ton of scoring and a lot of effort on defense from Bishop and Buchanan, they're going to lose.
And this can be James Bishop's last game as a revolutionary. And for that reason, this can be a legacy game. He went out there and he scored, 27 points on his senior night, led his team to their first victory in 51 days. But the thing that people say about James Bishop is he has never done anything in the postseason, ever. He's won one playing game against Fordham in a wacky A-10 tournament in 2021. Other than that, nothing.
So we'll see if he can break that streak. Some good support here today for GW. The Foghorns, the First Ladies, the cheer team, George, all made the trip. Set at center court for the tip, and Liam, I'll let you play.
Interesting, we got no national anthem, but for what it's worth, I'm in favor of it. Teams going through their final preparations. Darren Buchanan just went to the little padded area on the stanchion underneath the basket. Like I said, I think he's got something to prove. His shorts are very short. They're rolled up. Could be the difference.
Could be the difference. GW in blue today, LaSalle in white.
We're going to have Babatunde Akingbola going for the tip. 2:36 tip-off. So originally scheduled for 2 p.m. That's what happens in these tournaments is gets pushed back. That's something to watch here. GW's a young team.
That they are.
3 out of these 5 starters have never played in a postseason game in college before. Gilcus Roaches Rokas Yotu. I'm going to keep doing that now that I started doing it. Going for the tip against Babatunde Akimbola. And the ball is in, the game is on. As the ball comes directly towards us, but Jacoy Hutchinson corrals it, and GW will have the first possession. Darren Buchanan with the ball. Top of the key on the A-10 logo. Cuts to his right. Looking for something, driving in on Yokas. Finds Bishop. Brantley falls down. Bishop drives in. Open corner three for Darren Buchanan. Does not go. Brantley with the rebound. Headed the other direction. Deshaun Shepard over to Valberg Pasasi. Brickett driving in. Pump fake. A little bit of a fadeaway jumper there, and rolls around the rim and in. LaSalle up 2-0.
Not much you can do there. GW had a good defense on him, but better shot making. I mean, incredible stuff there to start out from Brickett.
Yeah, it's a fortunate bounce, but, you know, he played the game to get the baskets in, and that's what he did. Hutchinson into sort of a high post to Darren Buchanan, looking for something. Passes top of the key to Hutchinson. Hutchinson over to Bishop. Bishop, a little pump fake, drives in, left-handed shot, and doesn't get it to go. But GW gets the rebound. Darren Buchanan now on the three-point line, looking like he was maybe going to shoot there. He drives in, loses his footing, maybe his bounce a little bit, but twirling around, finds Bishop again. Bishop fighting off Baricus. Tough basket, doesn't get it to go. Ball's bouncing around. LaSalle gets the rebound. That's not really the best start for GW offensively.
I don't like that possession there. It felt like they didn't have anything drawn up and were just sort of letting Bishop and Buchanan do whatever they wanted, but it completely fell apart and they couldn't get anything going.
There we go. Lazy turnover by Jameer Brickus. Darren Buchanan running the floor. Over to Jacoy Hutchinson. Hutchinson driving in. Easy layup. First points off the turnover for the Revolutionaries.
That is where GW's been better this season, is that they're a fast team. You know, sometimes they play that sort of schoolyard offense as Brantley takes the three, doesn't connect, rebound, it goes to Hutchinson.
Yeah, there we go. They're getting down transition again here. Hutchinson's leading the break, but Bishop kind of lost the ball there a little bit, and that's headed back to LaSalle. They've got numbers here. Oop to Deshaun Shepard, and he can execute it. He had a thunderous dunk in the second meeting this team's had this year. That basically sealed the game for LaSalle, but couldn't finish the alley-oop there.
Second too short on his jump there, made it so he couldn't quite corral the pass.
Hutchinson now with the ball on the wing, drives in, out to Autry in the corner, and he drills it and puts the little, I've been told it's the Jalen Brunson celebration where he puts the two fingers and the thumb over his mouth.
You know, right city, if not the right arena for that one.
Well, Autry's from Western New York, but still New York. Yeah, his dad, of course, the head coach at the Syracuse. Brickett cutting across the free throw line, looking for something, pivots and puts the shot up, doesn't get it to go, and GW gets the rebound. 5-2 Revolutionaries. 17:30 left in the first half. James Bishop bringing the ball up the court, directing his teammates around. Now Buchanan with it, cutting in. Shepard guarding him, puts his body into him, seeing if he can get anything. Tries to pass it to Babatunde Akimbola, who was not ready for it. That will be a turnover. LaSalle now with the ball. Brantley driving in, right-handed, takes the shot, doesn't get it to go. Buchanan with the rebound.
LaSalle's attacking GW a lot in the paint right now.
As Bishop drives to the basket, but pulls out of the shot and takes that three-pointer in the corner, gets it to go. He does his little three fingers, but puts it on the ground, not on his face.
That's exactly the type of play GW is going to need more of if they want to win, or you have a well-drawn-up offense, players passing to each other, not just taking the ball and trying to figure something out surrounded by defenders.
Well, it seemed like they sort of lost Bishop there a little bit, which they didn't really, but you can give him an inch of space and he can convert on it. Shepard now with the ball driving in on the wing. Pull-up mid-range jumper. Doesn't get it to go, but that is a foul for LaSalle on number 34, Tunde Valberg Fasasi. That brings us to the first media timeout. 15:57 remaining in the first half. You leading 8-2.
Welcome back to WRGW live broadcast of GW men's basketball here in the A-10 tournament, taking on the LaSalle Explorers live from Brooklyn. I'm Nick Perkins. Close to my right is Liam O'Murku, and as always, this game is being broadcast live from the Stephen E. Smith Broadcast Center. GW currently up 8-2. It's just under 16 to play.
Yeah, it's been actually a pretty nice start for GW after LaSalle got the first basket of the game. LaSalle hasn't scored in 3 minutes and 27 seconds. There just have not been that many stretches this year where GW has held the team scoreless for that long, and they've capitalized on an 8-0 run as LaSalle brings out some full-court pressure. Bishop over to Buchanan. Buchanan gets it over the timeline in time to Hutchinson. Bishop now with the ball, directing the offense. Bishop being guarded by Brantley. Buchanan will fake handoff, real handoff there to Bishop. Top of the key, Akingbola with the ball, playing a little Hunter Dean role there. Bishop now. Screen from Akingbola, long three-pointer. Ooh, it goes in and out, but Buchanan gets the rebound, brings it all the way back down. That was a mistake in the turnover, and Brantley's headed the other direction.
Looks like Buchanan thought he might have gotten fouled. There was a bit of contact, ruled a turnover instead.
Yeah, Buchanan thinks he might have gotten fouled often because he does get fouled, and it isn't called often. Yokas in the post here. Left-handed shot up on Akingbola, but CW gets the rebound. Hutchinson headed the other direction. Leans into the man for contact and draws the foul. That'll be Jacoy Hutchinson heading to the free throw line. And a foul called.
Hutchinson's been a big part of the mini turnaround this GW team's had recently.
Phenomenal.
He's sort of stepped into that starting lineup, really been, I would say, far and away the third best player on the team the past couple.
He has been outstanding. I think there's an argument that he's been the best player on the team the past few weeks. Like, he is. I remember we were talking as he takes his first free throw here. We're talking with Chris Capito after the badly missed first one front rim. We're talking with Chris Capito after the St. Bonaventure win, and he said, I think they'll have a tough time keeping him off the all-rookie team. And I don't think his performance was consistent enough throughout the season because he makes the second one. It's now 9-2 GW. But he's been outstanding. And when I asked Capito, how do you replace Bishop next year? He says, well, we'll figure it out, but we've got Jacoy Hutchinson, and he's been outstanding recently. LaSalle now on offense. Brickus now posting up on Jacoy Hutchinson. Out to Brantley. Brantley, three-pointer, gets it to go. 9-5, 14:53 remaining.
So far, it kind of looks like GW and LaSalle and this are both having killer beats. They're kind of running the same offenses where they just hope one of their two best players gets the shot off.
A lot of isolation. Max Edwards now on the floor. He's going to drive to the basket, left-handed on Vasasi, and he gets it to go. Rolls in. That's big for GW. Got someone in the crowd with their Max Edwards gear, with their Max Edwards headshot, holding it up. Max Edwards, of course, from New York.
Yes, from the tri-state area. A bit of a homecoming here for Edwards. Yeah, from Connecticut originally, I believe.
Speaking of Max Edwards, he just committed a foul, so LaSalle will inbound underneath as Antoine Smith Jr. will check in for Darren Buchanan.
Nice to see the first one go through for Max, though. He's had a tough season coming off that Rookie of the Year last year, so good to see him off to a, small but strong start in this game. Inbound
to Vasasi underneath the basket, and dished off to Yokas. Yokas can't get it to go. Akingbola with the rebound. Edwards and Antoine Smith Jr. did not play in the last matchup against LaSalle. Edwards had a finger injury, and Smith was hurt. That is another GW turnover. Their fourth of the day. Brickus in the corner, and that'll be a reach-in on Antoine Smith Jr. He doesn't like it. There's someone who's good at getting those tic-tac fouls. It's Antoine Smith Jr. He can rack them up with the best of them. Something to monitor for GW because they don't really have another backup big outside of him, so he will sometimes still at the 5 if Akingbola gets into foul trouble. With how eager he is for blocks, can happen a lot. Vasasi with the ball, guarded by Jacoy Hutchinson, bit of a size mismatch, and Vasasi blows by him, takes it to the basket, reverse layup, doesn't get it to go. Vasasi gets his own rebound, open three-pointer. Brickus turns it down over to Brantley on the wing. Brantley misses. LaSalle cannot hit the side of a barn door with a banjo case. Two good looks there. Brantley was wide open, and it really wasn't even that close in the end. Hutchinson gets the screen from Akingbola. Akingbola tries to kind of whip it over his head to Akingbola. Akingbola keeps it, but wasn't perfectly executed. Akingbola maybe looking for a handoff to Bishop. There's a handoff to Edwards. Three-pointer. Bang! bang as the shot clock's going down.
Liam, I know we said at the start of the game that this game would sort of rise and fall for GW depending on how their stars did, but having this sort of six-man effort from Max Edwards certainly isn't going to hurt.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's how they've sort of, even if it's only been one win, their performances on the eye test have been improved recently because Max has been playing better. As Brickett gets a layup in the lane over a jumping Akinbola. So that's 14-7 for GW. Approaching the under 12 media timeout. Chikoli Hutchinson leading the point. High screen from Akinbola, and that's just a pull-up three-pointer. That actually didn't look like a terrible shot, but it did not go in. It went over the backboard.
I felt like a bit of a heat check with not much to go off of, but, you know, I respect. You got to sometimes do that in the tournament.
Yeah.
Up 14-7, worth a shot, but did not work out in the end.
Wants to maybe a freshman move a little bit, but, you know, Chikoli Hutchinson doesn't really play like a freshman. He's a very experienced, of course, played at IMG Academy.
Hopefully a key part of this GW team for years to come.
And that is something we can maybe talk about as we get through this broadcast, is how much this GW team stays together next year. Shepard driving in, guarded by Autry. Mid-range jumper, doesn't get it to go. Front rim, that front rim has been killing LaSalle early. Autry bringing the ball up the floor. Buchanan now with the ball. Hutchinson on the wing, and that's another turnover. It's been lots of turnovers early for GW. 34 on 34 crime, and it's another ticky-tack foul for Anton Smith Jr. 11:48 left.
I mean, that's bad for GW. Antoine Smith comes in, plays 2 minutes, gets 2 fouls. If they really need to rely on Akinbola, that's a risky spot to be in. I wouldn't be shocked if Caputo goes small ball here soonish, just to balance out those fouls that could be coming to his big men.
Small ball is, in theory, playing with Antoine Smith Jr.
Exactly, but you have to get a really small ball where you sort of have Darren Buchanan in that Bruce Brown-esque role at the 5.
Yeah, that's not good. What did I say? Akinbola Smith Jr. can rack up the fouls, the ticky-tack fouls with the best of them. So, 14-9, under 12 media timeout. GW leading.
We'll be back with you shortly, so be sure to stay tuned in to WRGW. Again, GW currently up 14-9 with under 12 to play. Welcome back to WRGW live broadcast of GW men's basketball here taking on LaSalle in the A-10 tournament. I'm Nick Perkins, here with me is Liam O'Murku. We're broadcasting this game live from the Barclays Center and the Stephen E. Smith Broadcast Center back in D.C. Liam, what have you made of this first 8 minutes and change for GW?
I think it's actually been a pretty good start. Obviously leading 14-9. LaSalle's kind of starting to get back into it. GW started the game on a 8-2 run, but some kind of careless turnovers for GW as Tunde Valberg-Tasasi is at the line right now, and he does not make it. LaSalle has been, let's just be blunt about it, LaSalle has been bad offensively. And Nick, you mentioned this to me. You're not expecting them to continue to shoot like that. So GW maybe needs to take advantage of it and get up to a big lead here. Or a semi-substantial lead as a free throw line jumper by Max Edwards. Doesn't go. And that's actually a very nice save there by Jameer Brickett. The Lithuanian names.
And I will say, that's what worries me about GW right now. Not your pronunciations of Lithuanian names, but the fact they're only up 5, given the fact they've gotten these really positive contributions from Max Edwards, and they've had such bad shooting from LaSalle.
Yeah, but also Buchanan does not have any points so far, so maybe, he just got, Buchanan just got turned inside out. They called it a 3, but I think it was actually a 2 by Jameer Brickus. He just got, he just did the nay-nay. He was
hesitated
dancing.
For a second, hit him with a shimmy. I mean, you see the skills that got him third-team all-conference.
Yeah, he's a serious, serious player. Fellow Chester County native, like myself, went to Coatesville. Max Edwards now with the ball, driving after a high screen from Darren Buchanan. He's going to drive in on his weak hand, and he can't get it to go. Those are the type of baskets, or the type of shots that Max Edwards is typically pretty good at, but just a little bit too much on that one as LaSalle now with the ball. Brantley looking for something, guarded by Bishop. Kicked out to Sasasi. And GW bench wanted it to be their ball, but the referees will give the ball back to LaSalle. 16 seconds on the shot clock, 10:26 on the game clock in the first half.
You saw Max Edwards really come out of the gate shooting strong, hit a great 3. That clearly gave him a bunch of confidence because now he's sort of running the offense. Everything's going through him. And that isn't leading to the best shots. You saw him miss 2 in a row there. Let LaSalle get it down to a 1-possession game as the ball goes into Anwar Gill.
Gill's gonna... Oh, sorry, that's Brantley. Brantley driving in, although Gill did just come into the game. As Brickus now with the ball, step back 3, and he misses it. That's one of those things, if you're GW, you do the same way LaSalle doesn't want Bishop to get hot, GW cannot have Brickus get hot because he can, just like James Bishop can score 30 points, so can Brickus. As, you're right, Edwards is touching the ball a lot as, yeah, James Bishop needs to, they're going to have to carry him off on a stretcher for him to get a foul at that point. But he just went up for a shot through 2 players, didn't get it, but he will get the free throws.
And free throw shooting has been a bit of an unusual struggle for James Bishop this year. Not that he's been bad from the line, still shooting at a very strong clip, but he's someone who came into the year as a 90% or so free throw shooter, and that's dipped this season. So he does make the first, make it a lead.
Yep, 84% free throws, which is still pretty good and among the best in the conference, but like you said, of being a 90% free throw shooter, and it drops, you know. He did make the second, though, so it'll be 16-12, GW. Brantley now with the ball. Screen from Jokic. Fake screen from Jokic. Brantley still with it. Over to Deshaun Shepard, driving in, and he'll start posting up Trey Autry. Brantley driving in, and puts it up. Can't get it to go, but Jokic gets the rebound. Also doesn't get it to go. Autry gets that rebound. The rebounding early has been pretty good from GW, wouldn't you say?
They've really been quite
quick transition 3 for Bishop. Love those 3-pointers. They rebound long, and Corey Hutchinson gets the rebound and draws a foul, although it won't be a shooting foul.
Yeah, going back to what we were talking about with Yotus, you've seen him really be the only person LaSalle puts in the paint. He's by far the tallest player, though now checking out of the game for Ryan Zan. That's given GW a lot of opportunities to get those rebounds. They just have more people down there. Yotus can't do everything for LaSalle.
And that has not been the case for GW this year because they have someone who's so proficient at blocking shots like Babatunde Akimbola. He's often out of position because he's going to block the shot. And then you're kind of left with another GW player that's kind of forced to get the rebound, and the bigger players on the other team will get it. Buchanan goes, drives through contacts, draws a foul. So to the free throw line. So Ryan Zan making his impact early by committing a foul.
Buchanan's someone that GW is going to need a lot from today if they're going to win. We were talking about it earlier, but he is definitively their second best player. You've sort of seen already Max Edwards cool off, and you're not seeing a lot from all the others. As Buchanan's first one rims all around, finally does go in. GW, though, currently is kind of crushing LaSalle when it comes to shooting. They are 38% compared to just 28% for LaSalle. That's a really rough shooting start for the Explorers.
Yet it's only a 5.6-point game as Buchanan makes both of them. Buchanan's been a shakier free throw shooter this year. There have been a few games where he misses his first few free throws and totally gets in his own head. I think it was the Navy game, but the team as a whole was like 50% from the free throw line. Here's Anwar Gill driving in, gets to his left hand, shoots with his right, doesn't get it to go. Edwards with the rebound in transition, driving into the basket. and kicks it out to Autry. Corner three, gets it to go. The Jalen Brunson celebration is back.
You
love 2 for 2.
Love to see the offense humming for GW. Had a Buchanan block go into that wide open three for Autry. It's exactly what the Revs need.
Actually, some Max Edwards got blown by there, but kind of tapped it out of Brickets' hands and went out of bounds. And possession is awarded to LaSalle, but if you're going to get blown by like that, that's kind of what you want to see for Max Edwards. Oh, that's a complete miscommunication there. As Trey Autry intercepts the inbound pass, little Euro step, and that'll be a block from Deshaun Shepard, who we know can get up. I almost think maybe Autry, he had Bishop to his left. He maybe should have bounced it right to him and had Bishop laid in on his strong left hand.
You can see LaSalle doing a little extra on defense right now. They're scoreless for nearly the last 3 minutes. So if they want to stay in this game, they're going to need to succeed on one side of the floor.
Get it to Buchanan in the high post. Bishop, top of the key. Looks like he's maybe going to shoot a three. Kicks it over to Autry, who also pump fakes a three. 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Tight defense on Autry this far away from the basket as Jacoy Hutchinson now with the ball. Hutchinson driving in on his left hand, kicks it out to Autry. Top of the key, three-pointer. Doesn't get that one to go. That is not as good of a look as the ones he got earlier in the game. Brickets headed the other direction. Anwar Gill driving in. Spin move on Max Edwards. Kicks out to Brantley. He does get the bounce. It was a funky bounce at first, but he got it to go.
Hit the front rim still, but that front rim maybe felt a little bad for LaSalle after how dirty he was doing them earlier.
It's been unforgiving, shall we say. Bishop now with the ball. Over to Buchanan to a wide open Hutchinson on the other side of the floor, and he misses the three-pointer. Maybe we jinxed Hutchinson by saying how well he's been playing. Maybe I jinxed him. But we're headed to the under 8 media timeout. 7:39 remaining in the first half. GW leading 21-15.
Welcome back to WRGW live broadcast of the GW men's basketball. The Revolutionaries taking on the LaSalle Explorers in the A-10 tournament, the 15-10 matchup. I'm Nick Burkett here with Liam O'Murku, broadcasting this game live from our Stephen E. Smith Broadcast Center. GW currently up 21-15, 7:39 left to play in the first half. Liam, what's a stat that really jumps out at you right now for either team?
I said the turnovers before, but I'll go back to it again. GW with 5 turnovers. It's been a little troublesome. But yeah, how about yours? Here's the shot that sticks out to me. Jeremy Cannon 0 for 1 from the field, and that one shot was on the first possession of the game, and it was a corner three-pointer. So GW needs to get him going. They got him to the basket on a possession or two ago and got him to the free throw line, but he's going to need to score some points if GW wants to win. As Brantley now with the ball for LaSalle, driving in, elbow jumper, doesn't get it to go. There's a Max. Maybe we should just call him Max the Rebound Edwards. A Max Edwards rebound is what I was intending to say, but he is quite a good rebounder. Bishop now has the ball. He's now got Yokas on him, and Brickus switches onto him, drives in, puts up the shot well short. No attempt to rebound by anyone on GW, as LaSalle is now headed the other direction. Brantley into a cutting. Shepard now has the ball on the wing. Another elbow line jumper, and another short one, and another Max Edwards rebound. So GW now with possession. And that is just a pull-up three-pointer. This is what we're talking about with Max Edwards not playing within the flow of the offense. He just steps on the A-10 logo when he crosses the floor and just shoots it with, 25 seconds left in the shot clock. So that's not how you win basketball games if you're GW. As Anwar Gill posting up Trey Autry, as kind of cuts in a little bit, cannot get the sort of the floater sort of thing to go, as GW will get the rebound. So both teams are now playing bad offense.
GW's one of their last 10, LaSalle one of their last 8 from the field.
Oof. This is pillow fight special. Had a rough first half in the Fordham-Davidson game earlier in the session, but Jacoy Hutchinson, that would have been a nice finish. He kind of drove in on his right and reversed to his left, but couldn't get it to go, as the scoring struggles continue for GW, as Brantley at the free throw line picks up his dribble, passes to Brickus. Brickus maybe to the right side, but decides against it. Being guarded by Bishop, as he'll get a screen from Yokas for Yokas, and it rims out.
This is what we've seen the rest of the afternoon, where that one was just a little too strong. Bounced right out. Neither team, though, has scored in over 2.5 minutes since we came out of that media timeout. Still 21-15.
I do think there's something to be said for adjusting to new rims. As Bishop is driving in, it sounds silly, but I don't know if that was a foul. They called a foul on I believe that was Brickus. So
look, if you're James Bishop, you'll take the foul calls where you can get them.
Right. There have been plenty of instances where he was fouled and it was not called. So.
Only 3 players have scored for LaSalle, and only 2 players have more than a single field goal, those being obviously Brickus and Brantley.
Bishop at the free throw line. Knocks down the first one.
I mean, I would say, given the rough shooting for both sides, I'd argue the only reason GW has the 7-point lead they currently do, they're out-rebounding LaSalle 21-11 now. They're not letting them get any second chances, and they've claimed a couple of those second opportunities for themselves.
And that's not really something that GW is great at, is rebounding. They have a negative rebound margin on the year, as Bishop misses the second one, and LaSalle cuts into that rebounding margin, as Anwar Gill is going to post up Jacoy Hutchinson, kicks out to calls a screen from Yokas for the foul, and they're going to award it. That'll be a foul on James Bishop. Looked to me like he kind of slapped his arm before he even finished dribbling, and then he went up for the shot.
I don't even really think that was a shooting foul. Good move by Brantley, ultimately. Impressive shot to get that off, and he'll go to the line now to try and cut it to 4, but I'm not necessarily
hold on. We got some consternation here from the referees.
The consternation seems to have ended.
Yeah, I think it was surrounding how many free throws it was. Chris Capito has come to acceptance. Oof, okay, missed free throw from LaSalle there, and they're struggling. They're 0 for 2 from the free throw line.
Struggling in anything that involves putting the ball in the basket right now, the Explorers are.
Handoff to James Bishop, driving in on Brantley, looking for maybe a screen or something. Stretch Akinbola comes over, and he's open. Akinbola is wide open. Bishop does not look for him. Right into the basket. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Off the front rim, Akinbola gets the rebound and draws the foul on the floor. So
I think that possession was almost a microcosm of some of the struggles that GW's offense can face. because James Bishop is an incredibly talented player. He's able to create his own offense, but that shouldn't be the entire focal point of that end of the floor for GW.
Well, have you been watching this team the past 4 years since he's been here? Because that is exactly what has happened. And we were told when Chris Caputo came in that that wouldn't happen, but I think there's a certain amount of James Bishop is kind of good enough, and he can sort of win you games in that fashion. Like, obviously you want to kind of get away from it, but maybe it's the kind of the style that Caputo plays. I know for sure Jamie and Christian, there was not a huge emphasis on, they weren't rounding the triangle offense as Stretch Akinbola makes both of his free throws there. GW's in the bonus. I said it was a foul on the floor, but GW in the bonus. LaSalle has 7 fouls. Fasasi driving in, looking for something. Picks up his dribble to cutting Anwar Gill with a nice floater right over Babatunde Akinbola. Babatunde Akinbola with a smile on his face. He just said a word I'm not allowed to say on air. In a bit of a frustration that he was not able to block that shot. Hutchinson with the ball, working off an Akinbola screen, looking for something. Kind of a lot of still decent amount of standing around and not going for Hutchinson today. He's struggling a little bit after playing so well. He played well against LaSalle too. They're going to call it foul on Trey Autry there with some contact on Sachasi. That's going to bring us to the final media timeout of the first half. Score is GW 14, LaSalle 19. The
24 for GW, not 14.
Sorry, 24. GW 24, LaSalle 19. I'm getting a little mixed up, just like the offenses are today. We've had some struggles recently.
Well done. I mean, when 31% is the high watermark for a team from the field in a game, it's been bad. LaSalle currently 8 for 26 from the field. GW 6 for 22, 27% from the field to start out for the Revolutionaries. And yet they do hold a 5-point lead. Liam, what's got to change for the Buff and Blue for them to take a firmer hold of this game?
They got to start finding better shots. Like you said, it needs to be less individual good shots. There's a lot of kind of shots forcing them up. So I would look for better shots, and I'm sure LaSalle. I'm sure LaSalle is going to, improve their shooting at some point, but maybe the same can be said for GW. So
absolutely. I will say, interesting that we see both teams running really tight rotations. There's essentially been 6 and a tiny bit in terms of people who have seen more. GW has had their starting 5 plus Max Edwards playing 60 minutes off the bench and a couple minutes for Antoine Smith. Meanwhile, for LaSalle, they've mostly rolled with their starting 5. We've seen Anwar Gill coming off the bench have a bit of an impact like he just did with that last bucket there, and a couple minutes for Ryan Zan, but only really to relieve Yotus when he needed a breather at the 5. So interesting to see both teams, once it comes tournament time, as is pretty standard, really cutting the rotations down.
I do think, at least for GW, part of the limited minutes for Antoine Smith, I do think the plan was to kind of have him have more than 3 minutes, 43 seconds at this stage in the game, but he picked up 2 fouls in like 2 minutes. So
you can't really do that in the first half.
Yeah, you kind of can't play him. You can, but it's a bit of a risk to play him after that. So I think that maybe threw a bit of a wrench in some of GW's plans. I was told by the wonderful David Korn, who was at GW practice yesterday, that apparently the team was kind of looking to play a little bit more small ball, design some kind of plays for Antoine Smith, or whether it's kind of him popping out in the corner and hitting a corner 3 or whatever. But Antoine Smith was kind of, David at least expected him to have a heightened role, which obviously we have not seen today.
No, but still a lot of basketball left to play, of course. Right now, Brantley getting set to inbound.
Yeah, you see a little K with the crown on it behind his right ear.
Yeah.
Pretty clever. Clever with a K, of course. Khalil Brantley. Over to Deshaun Shepard. Archbishop Wood star. Oh, Brantley. Top of the key, doesn't get it to go. LaSalle gets an offensive rebound. Is that their first offensive rebound? Deshaun Shepard, corner 3, doesn't get it to go. This time, GW gets the board. That's Darren Buchanan. LaSalle had 2 offensive rebounds. Now they have 3. As Buchanan's going to get it to Bishop. Some little dribble handoffs here. Driving in. Open. Maybe not so open for Jacoy Hutchinson, who drives in, kicks it out to James Bishop. 6 seconds left. Draws a little contact, throws a shot up. Asking for a foul, but it was a bit of a disjointed play there. It's actually pretty good defense from LaSalle. And that'll just be a quick pull-up 3-pointer from Anwar Gill. Doesn't get it to go.
Neither team can make a basket to save their lives. I mean, if this isn't peak pillow fight basketball, I don't know what is.
So, I mean, we'll maybe have to go look back in the record books and see the last time GW had such a low-scoring first half, because this is insane. Like, they've multiple games in a row. Towards the end of the year, they let up 50 points in the first half.
And I do want to be clear, this isn't great defense. It's just got a bad offense right now. But there is Sequoia Hutchinson drains a three, hoping to end that trend. 27-19 revolutionary lead.
Yeah, he needed to get off the schneid there a little bit as he hits his second shot of the day, first three-pointer. Khalil Brantley driving in. A little floater. Doesn't get it to go. And that'll be a rebound for LaSalle. Ooh, a little fun little Deshaun Shepard layup up and under there.
Good effort there from Yotu. Tap that rebound out. Keep the play alive, ultimately ending in a bucket. 27-21 GW lead.
Oh, and I hit my elbow kind of hard, so maybe I need to get the medic over here. Anyway, James Bishop coming off a screen, driving in on his right hand, and he lays it up. That might have been goaltending, but doesn't get it to go. Babatunde Akambola brings the ball down, which is the biggest flaw in his game, in my opinion, is he does not just stay up with the shots as Max Edwards. Shot clock going down, doesn't get it to go off the front rim. Khalil Brantley headed the other direction. He'll drive in and slow it up and kick it out to Yokes. Over to Shepard, over to Gill. Gill gets Edwards jumping, drives in, over to Shepard, gets Hutchinson jumping, gets Buchanan jumping, open corner three for Tunde Vasasi, and he does not get it. Battling for the rebound there, and it'll go off of GW, off of Sequoia Hutchinson. But kind of like you said before, that was I think it's a LaSalle timeout here.
Anwar Gill's been a real spark plug for them off the bench.
He's a good player.
He hasn't necessarily shown it in the box score, only 1 for 4 right now. He's rebound, and that's an area we were talking about earlier, where Yotus was just being left on an island to try and rebound for himself. So having Gill there to tap those rebounds around has been big for LaSalle, giving them this second chance opportunity here once we come out of the timeout.
Yeah, Anwar Gill was very good in the game that the second game between GW and LaSalle. I'm struggling to find his stats, but I think he had like 18 points or something, so we'll just roll with it. But he's a DC guy. Went to Gonzaga College High School in DC. He's a very talented player. I don't think GW offered him out of high school, which is a little silly. Whenever there's a guy like that who's a DC native and GW didn't at least, reach out to him, it can be a little frustrating.
Perhaps a bit of a revenge game here for Gill.
Potentially. He's had, I think he's in his 5th year, so he's had plenty of revenge games. But one more never hurts, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So 27-21, GW leading with 1 minute and 7 seconds left. LaSalle inbounding underneath GW's basket. It'll be Brantley inbounding, and he will pass it to Brickus in the corner, guarded by Antoine Smith Jr. Over to Vasasi. Takes the three-pointer short. GW, wow. Shepard just skied for that offensive rebound and misses a layup, gets another offensive rebound, misses it again, but it goes off of Darren Buchanan's heel. So LaSalle will have 20 more seconds on the shot clock, 55.1 seconds on the game clock. So if GW can get a stop here, this kind of seems like it would be big. Getting a stop here after multiple attempts. Brickus gets the ball in the corner. He could have shot that, but he didn't. Hutchinson guarding him. Kind of starting to post him up. Spins in. Left-handed layup. Doesn't get it to go. Darren Buchanan grabs the rebound. Tries to kind of slow GW down as we've got 40 seconds here and 25 on the shot clock. GW is going to call a timeout. That is the use it or lose it timeout. Why don't we take this timeout to talk about the concept of the use it or lose it timeout? It's stupid. Why are we requiring a team to take a timeout in the first half?
It's very silly. It really slows the pace down. That might be what GW wants right here, but regardless.
Yeah. Well, so my kind of amendment to the rule was obviously you can take a timeout in the first half, but this whole concept of you lose a timeout whether you take it or not. In this situation, maybe it is what GW wants, and this is a good timeout, obviously, because if GW wakes up tomorrow morning eliminated from the Atlantic 10 tournament, they will not be able to use any of those timeouts that they face.
This is true.
But I just kind of think the whole concept of a use it or lose it timeout is a little bit silly. But
I mean, with 40 seconds until halftime,
yeah, like you said, it kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
So
But a big stop for GW there.
multiple stops.
Many stops. They, I don't know, going into half, even if you only have 27 points, going in with it as a 2-possession game rather than a 1-possession game, just feels so much different.
Absolutely. And it's also like, kind of like I mentioned before, this is the type of the defense that GW can really build on, because that's something they've struggled mightily with this year. And who knows, maybe they come out of half and LaSalle scores 60 points in the second half, but Buchanan posting up. They tried to double him, kick to James Bishop. Boom. Gets it to go. Big three-pointer for James Bishop right before halftime. 18 seconds left. LaSalle maybe with the final possession. Anwar Gill driving in. Right-handed layup. Doesn't get it to go. And they called a foul. I don't know about that. Chris Capito's putting his arms out, restraining his bench, which is in disbelief. So
I don't really think
I don't
saw
think that
any
was a foul.
contact there. But this will give LaSalle a chance to cut into 9-point GW lead. Again, from Anwar Gill, probably their best player so far in this game. Because Brantley obviously is their leading scorer with 8. Brantley's also 3 for 10 from the field.
Yeah, he's certainly getting his shots, but just not hitting them. Meanwhile, Anwar Gill's only 1 for 4 from the field, so that I think illustrates just how bad LaSalle has been offensively thus far. But Anwar Gill made both of his shots there, and because LaSalle went quick, GW now has 14 seconds they get the final shot of the half here. So let's see what they do with it. Chris Capito yelling, "Go at 7." And Jeremy Kennedy just runs right at him, puts the shot up, doesn't get it to go. Fighting for the rebound, 2 seconds left. Length of the court. Wow, that would have been pretty impressive. LaSalle just threw the ball length of the court after getting the defensive rebound, put up the layup in time, and did not get it.
That would have been kind of a crushing moment for GW.
Sure.
But as is, I think they're going into the halftime break feeling good, not great about themselves. On the one hand, you're up 30-23 as the underdog. On the other hand, you shot 8 for 28 in that first half, and your opponent shot 9 for 36, and you're only up 7. I'm not sure that either team's feeling great right now, honestly.
Yeah, you think maybe there'll be regression to the mean, or maybe this is going to be a rock fight like we saw in the first pillow fight game. So,
well, even there, we had a bit of regression to the mean as the game went on.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, who knows? Maybe we'll get that as we got this guy who performed at halftime of the first game will be out here. I don't even really know how to describe it, but maybe I don't have to. That's not my job.
What is our job, though, will be to take you through all of the second half action here on WRGW. We might have a halftime guest. I think we're not sure at the moment, but be sure that you stay tuned in here and check back in about 15 minutes for all of the Atlantic 10 second half action live from Barclays. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the WRGW live broadcast of GW men's basketball here taking on the LaSalle Explorers in the A-10 tournament here in Barclays Center in Brooklyn. I'm Nick Perkins. Here with me is Liam Amurku. And as always, this game is being broadcast live from the Stephen E. Smith Broadcast Center. Currently, GW leads going into the second half, 30-23. It was an inauspicious start for both teams, I'd say. GW shot 8 for 28, 29% from the field. LaSalle, meanwhile, 9 for 36, 25% from the field. Both the team's supposed best players, that being for LaSalle, Bishop and Buchanan for GW didn't really do much of anything. Bishop and Buchanan combined to go 2 for 12 for 11 points, while Brickus and Brantley were 6 for 16 for 15 points. Liam, what stood out for you from that first half, and what do you want to see change for GW in the second half?
Well, GW needs their best players to hit shots. The same thing LaSalle needs. We said this before the game. We mentioned I guess in total it's 4 Bs, but the 2 Bs for each team, Bishop and Buchanan on GW and Brickus and Brantley on LaSalle, they got to start hitting shots. As we saw, sorry, my attention was a little transfixed there by the team doing a little thing where Darren Buchanan needs to make a free throw before they do their huddle for the
It was taking him a disturbingly long time.
Yeah, I saw him miss at least one. But I've seen some kind of discussion about poor rebounding from GW, and there have been a few instances in which the rebounding has been maybe a little lazy from GW, kind of standing around. And when I played soccer, we call it ball watching instead of like actually playing. You're just watching the ball. There's been a little bit of that maybe, but GW is still out rebounding LaSalle 27-20. They developed a pretty hefty advantage part of the way through the first half, but I don't know. It seems obvious saying kind of being up 7 points at half, but this is an incredibly winnable game for GW. And to kind of expand upon that, I think this is one of the, if you look at like biggest lead for GW to worst performance, I think this is certainly up there. Being up 7 points at half, especially in an A-10 tournament game, they did not play well in the first half. There's a lot of things that they can go into the locker room and say, okay, well, we need to do this better, this better, this better, and this better. But they played good defense.
If I may counter, if you're looking at this from the LaSalle perspective, they also didn't play well, arguably played significantly worse than GW, and they're only down 7. And throughout most of the season, they were the better team compared to the Revolutionaries. So they're probably thinking, we played our worst basketball we have all year, and we're only down 7. I would imagine if I'm LaSalle, I'm not feeling too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. But it also, for both teams need to turn it around. So I do think the beginning of this second half is big. LaSalle has the ball to start. They will inbound. But if one of these teams gets off to a hot start, pulls off an 8-0, 10-0 run, then the complexion of this game completely changes. Deshaun Shepard now with the ball. Khalil Brantley passing it over into Jokus. Gonna left-handed put the shot up and it twirls around and goes.
Hutchinson will now inbound for GW into Bishop. LaSalle was flirting with the full court press there that ultimately don't go for it. Brantley still guarding Bishop as he takes it up. Bishop gets it across half court just before time would have expired. Bishop still guarded by Brantley, 17 on the shot clock. Now switches over onto Brickus. Bishop taking his time here. GW's got a lead, no need to rush. Now Bishop's rushing. Bishop going in, and not an and one. Instead is an offensive foul. LaSalle will take possession.
That's his third foul, too, so that could factor in down the stretch there for GW. I saw him talking with one of the referees right before the second half, kind of figuring out what he needed to do to draw fouls or not get fouls called on him, and obviously it didn't work.
Brantley has it for LaSalle. Dumps down low to Utis. Yotus working on Akingbola. Yotus working, needs help, goes up, doesn't get anything. It looks like Akingbola got a piece of that one there.
Let's see if they credit that as a block for GW.
Bishop now has it for the buff and blue, hands it off to Buchanan. Buchanan, string from Hutchinson, driving Buchanan, cross-court pass right into the stands, and that will be LaSalle basketball. He was looking for Autry, but they were not quite on the same page. Still share a high five after.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about, how you can't start poorly, and that's what GW's done. They did credit that block to Babatunde Akindola, who has now tied the single-season record for most blocks in a season for a George Washington player, held by Yinka Dare.
So one more today, and he breaks it. Brickus now working on Hutchinson. Step-back jumper is good. Nasty shot from Jameer Brickus to cut the GW lead to 3. GW has not scored in the second half. Hutchinson has it for the Revs. Looks like LaSalle's running a bit of his own. Hutchinson takes the screen from Akingbola. Hutchinson in the paint. Hutchinson takes it out. Now over to Buchanan. Buchanan matched up on Shepard. Driving the rebound, and Brantley comes up with it after it was tipped around. He's pushing the pace. Matched up on Autry. Brantley hands off to Brickus. Brickus jab step, but doesn't take it. Instead, he'll go over to the side, to the wing.
You got to start getting stops here if you're GW. Bad start to the half. You got to kind of keep LaSalle
Turnaround
close.
jumper from Brickus. Too strong. Rebound Autry. The GW maintains a 3-point lead after their second stop of the half. Bishop now has it at the 0 in the A-10 logo. Takes the screen from Autry. Bishop thought about a step-back jumper, but he won't take it. Instead, he'll drive. Bishop being mauled, goes up and is fouled. So James Bishop will get the line, hoping to get GW on the board in the second half.
Yeah, I like. Shot 4 free throws. 2 shots from the, or he shot 10 shots, but only made 2 of them from the field.
Say it. The second half has gone about as bad so far as it could for GW.
Still early, but yes.
As Bishop misses the first, I mean, now it's gone about as bad as it could for GW.
Well, just wait. Like, just wait, meaning like it may get worse. They're still leading.
Yeah, true. And Bishop misses his second, so it could indeed get worse.
I don't know. I don't know if that's happened since James Bishop. He's missed both free throws.
Brantley, step back jumper, misses it, too strong. Rebound to Autry.
Okay, you gotta get out in transition here.
Pass up to Bishop.
As much as you can, at least.
Bishop matched up against Sasasi. Bishop driving, kicks out in the corner for 3. No good there. Fight for the rebound. Sasasi comes up with it. Sasasi hands off to Brickus. Brickus bounces to Brantley. Had a rough shooting night. Now over to Eutis. Eutis to Shepard. Shepard driving out to Brantley. Brantley takes the 3. Rims all around, no good. Brantley can't get one, but Yotus gets the rebound, goes up, and air rims out, no good. LaSalle getting unlucky.
I thought it was maybe the rim at the other end that was bad for LaSalle, but this rim is just as bad. There was like 2 straight shots that like rolled around. One of them almost got stuck on the top of the rim.
Touched basically every part of the rim they could without going in. Hutchinson now has it for the Rev. Match up on Sasasi. Hutchinson driving. Hutchinson does a little cardio, now taking it right back out. Hutchinson thought about the 3. Now he's going to take it from the left wing, but he can't connect.
So much individual play for GW. This is like like you said, the last thing that you want.
Brickus turns it over. Hutchinson has it in transition. Match up on Sasasi. Hutchinson grows up, and he is fouled by Tunde Valberg. Sasasi fouls for Clay Hutchinson, and he'll go the line to 2. Still trying to get GW on the board in the second half, over 4 minutes in. It's currently 30-27 GW. LaSalle hasn't scored in the last 2.5 minutes. GW hasn't scored in the last 4 minutes. And we're going to take a quick break at the under 16 media timeout. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to WRGW live broadcast of what might be the pillow fightiest game in the history of the A-10 tournament. That is GW Revolutionaries against the LaSalle Explorers here at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. As always, this game is being broadcast live from our WRGW studios, the Stephen E. Smith Broadcast Center. GW currently up 30-27 on LaSalle. GW shooting 25.8% from the field. LaSalle shooting 25.6%. What's going on right now, Liam?
Well, neither team can play offense. Especially GW. They've really struggled throughout the game, but even coming out of this half. So they have as many field goals as they do, or as many made field goals as they do made free throws. So
Shaquoy Hutchinson would go to the line as a ref just threw something on our table.
I think it was a little piece of the palm that the cheerleaders have.
Hutchinson makes his first, and W is officially on the board in the second half. Shaquoy Hutchinson had a rough game so far this afternoon, 2 for 7 from the field.
It's gotten a little better. He hit a shot or two, but still.
And second one, he can't connect. 31-27, GW still leads.
Brutal. This GW team, when they start missing free throws, they keep missing free throws.
Now for Gill on the right wing. Gill. Now Brantley's driving. Brantley kicks out to Gill. He's going to try and slow things down. 10 to work with though, so can't get too slow. Gill working on Bishop. Gill out to Sassi. Sassi takes the three. And he can't connect. Hutchinson, nice close up there. Edwards now has it for the Revs over to Bishop. Edwards, Buchanan, Bishop, Smith, and Hutchinson. 5 on the floor for the Revolutionaries. Buchanan takes a screen from Bishop. Now bounce pass, tries to find someone, but it looks like there was a foul call.
Yeah, it was a good idea for a pass. It was Jacoby Hutchinson kind of cutting from the top of the key to the basket. And I guess he maybe got held or something. So
GW will get a chance to reset their offense. Looks like Hutchinson's getting ready to inbound.
That's Brickus' third foul. So Brickus and Bishop both have 3 fouls.
Inbound to Buchanan. Buchanan working, is fouled as he goes up, and the bench explodes.
That play happened because Jacoy Hutchinson set an incredible screen on the free throw line. And obviously because Buchanan finished through contact. But
that helps. Now Buchanan will go to the line to try and finish off the and one. That bucket puts GW up 33-27. Buchanan readies. And the all-rookie selection nails his shot. 34-27, GW leads. LaSalle scoreless in over 3 minutes. Brickus has it for the Explorers, directing traffic. Now passes off to Gill. Gill's going to work it on Buchanan. Gill, step back jumper. Little weak on that one. Edwards throws in for the board. Passes it back to Buchanan now. Buchanan match up on Sashi, goes up and is fouled again as he takes a hard hit.
I want to see a replay on that one. Yeah, that's an offensive foul.
That's an offensive foul. A charge against Darren Buchanan, who can't believe it. I think he thought what I did, that he got the foul call there, but instead the foul is called against him.
That's what happens with Darren Buchanan. He plays so physical. He kind of leans into the contact. Sometimes that means it's an offensive foul. They did not show a replay in the arena.
Brantley has it for the Explorers. Brantley, risky pass out to Brickus. Brickus takes a 3. Now for Brantley. Brantley takes a 3 and connects. Brantley was waiting for that one. Bounced in, and the Explorers cut the lead to 4 points for GW. Bishop gets it up to Hutchinson. Hutchinson now to Buchanan in the paint. Buchanan working on Fasasi. Buchanan back out to Hutchinson. A little risky pass there. Hutchinson takes the screen from Buchanan. He's double teamed. Now he's only single teamed. Hutchinson getting working on Brantley.
You gotta move around. They're all just standing still and just like letting Jacoy Hutchinson dribble around. Same thing with Buchanan
working on Fasasi, goes up and is fouled. So Darren Buchanan will get another shot.
This is like frustrating to watch, and they're getting some foul calls now. Not that they were like that the referees like weren't calling fouls in the first half, but there's been a bunch of free throws in this second half for GW.
It almost feels like that's where their focus is shifted, because the offense is not really happening otherwise.
You can't shift the focus away from like scoring baskets.
I agree with that.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Buchanan nails the first 35-30, but it looks like they're looking for contact more than they were in the first half, just because their shots are not falling otherwise.
Yeah, I'm sure that was definitely a point of emphasis in the locker room, but like you gotta have some movement, some off-ball movement. Like it's just frustrating to watch them all stand still.
Yotu's back in the game for the
pray for
floor.
a foul. So.
As Buchanan hits his second, it's 36-30. Yotu's and Akingbola, the big man matchup, is back in the game.
Valberg Fasasi has 3 fouls, so that could be big because he's been playing defense down low on Buchanan and less so Akingbola, but a little bit of Antoine Smith Jr. So.
Ball in the hands of Anwar Gill, who's getting some boos from the GW band. Kicks it out to Yotu. Found, and LaSalle comes up with it.
Great offensive rebound.
Who now has the ball in the left corner, guard by Hutchinson. Gets seconds to work with. Gets it up top to Brickus. Brickus on Bishop, the matchup we were all looking for. Instead, pass off to Shepard. Shepard driving. Shepard layup. No good. Gets his own rebound. Tips out to Gill.
Offensive rebounds are killer for GW.
And Brickus wide open for 3, and he can't connect. LaSalle has 3 chances and can't make a shot, but there's a jump ball or a foul called, against it. Looks like Anwar Gill, who's fighting for the rebound. James Bishop. LaSalle had every opportunity there and couldn't execute. And if that's not a microcosm for this whole game, I don't know what is.
Yeah, LaSalle's offensive rebounding has been great, but they haven't really been able to capitalize on it. LaSalle has a 10-6 advantage in offensive rebounds, but GW still with a 34-29 advantage overall. So
Buchanan bring the ball up, passes over Bishop, who has nearly stolen away by
really silly pass. You know they're going to be playing tight on Bishop. You can't be trying to squeeze one in.
Bishop over to Hutchinson, open for 3, takes it! No good, too strong. Jacoy Hutchinson can't find his shot tonight. Now Brickus pushing the pace over to Shepard. Shepard back in the corner. Brickus wide open for 3, takes it, nails it. Jameer Brickus was waiting for that. It's 36-33. GW clinging to their lead. Hutchinson has it for the Rev. At the logo. Gonna try and slow down the momentum LaSalle's found in recent possession. Pass it over to Edwards. Now back to Hutchinson. Hutchinson guarded. No movement on the floor for GW. Just Edwards and Hutchinson passing back and forth. Edwards almost took a pull-up 3, decided against it. 6 seconds for Buchanan now. Buchanan driving. Strip to Akingbola. Akingbola. Hook shot. No good. GW couldn't do anything.
It's terrible offense. It's just disgusting. It's like you deserve to lose if you're going to just all stand still.
Gill has it. Gill's pull-up 3. No good. Too strong. Little to the right. Rebound right into the hands of Hutchinson.
You could say both teams are lucky because, like, neither team is hitting shots. Neither team is playing good offense. But the other team just keeps missing. So
it's a race to the bottom right now.
Right.
Bishop has it. 10 seconds. No movement. Pass over to Edwards, who takes a quick fire 3. No good.
You can excuse that because that's like Edwards had a little bit of space there. Just didn't score.
Good shot, but can't execute. The story of the afternoon for the Revs. Gill's matched up on Edwards behind the back pass to Yotu, who fires the 3 and drills it to tie the game. LaSalle is getting fancy, exploring their offensive bag, and has tied the game at 36-all. And GW is going to take a quick timeout now, and I think they need it. GW has a scoring drought for over the 2.5 minutes. LaSalle on a 6-0 run to tie it. Liam, what's going on right now for the Revs?
They can't score. That's what's going on. Is they can't play offense and they can't score. Their best players have, whether they've been shut down by LaSalle or they've just been, quieted, they're going to have issues when, they're struggling from the field. And LaSalle is starting to sort of regress to the mean a little bit. So,
well, let's hope that GW can pull it out in the last 11.5 minutes. We're going to take a quick breather here, but we'll be back with you all shortly. Don't go anywhere. A live broadcast of the GW Revolution 6 against the LaSalle Explorers in the A-10 tournament. I'm Merku, and as always, this game is being broadcast live from the Stephen E. Smith Broadcast Center. GW has fallen apart. LaSalle scored 6 in a row. Not fallen apart. Still, the game was a little harsh. But LaSalle scored 6 in a row. And Liam, what have you been seeing from W?
As we mentioned, they've really just been struggling offensively. The play designs, or kind of lack of play designs, has been troubling. It's been a lot of individual play, which is something that we've seen a lot of from GW this season. They do have individually talented players, Darren Buchanan and James Bishop, that can score on their own and win on their own, but it doesn't mean you should rely on it. So we're tied right now, 36-36. The score the last time this game was tied, 2-2. So LaSalle with all the momentum right now.
Autry inbounds to Bishop. Bishop, GW's best player, or Quiet Night, 2 for 10 for only 9 points. Pass over to Edwards, guarded by Gill. Now to Autry at the logo. Autry whips it to Buchanan. Buchanan bounce pass to Akingbola, who goes up and finishes over Yotu.
That is what I'm talking about. A little quiet cut to kind of the back corner there from Akingbola. 2 points.
Ball goes to Fasasi on the other end. Now out top to Yotu. Yotu's hands off back to Fasasi. Fasasi takes the screen from Yotu. And now over to Brantley. Khalil Brantley gives to Anwar Gill. Gill, jab step back, drive, got Edwards to bite, goes up and finishes. Nice move from Anwar Gill to respond, 38 all. Bishop has it for the Rev.
Max Edwards got caught jumping there. Not the first time that's happened this season. Not the first time that's happened this game, actually. So,
ball now in the hands of Edwards, gives it over to Autry. LaSalle playing his zone, now over to Edwards, double teamed, back to Autry. Back to Edwards, double teamed again, fakes the 3, drives, Edwards looking for help, traps the foul line, out to Bishop, 5 seconds, Bishop launches a deep 3, too strong on that, Shepard gets the rebound, he's going to push the pace. Deshaun Shepard, pass over to Brantley. Brantley fakes the 3 instead, brings it in a little bit, now over to Gill, in the corner, Shepard with the 3, can't connect, little light on that, but the rebound goes to Fasasi, and LaSalle get another shot. Out top to Brantley. Gonna try and slow things down for the Explorers. Tie game, under 10 to play. Brantley driving. Brantley pull-up jumper. Nails it. 40-38 LaSalle. Their first lead of the game since 2-0. Bishop has it for the Rev. Over to Edwards. Now to Buchanan. Buchanan working on Fasasi. Buchanan goes up and is rejected. Ball goes to Gill. Pushing the fast break. Up to Shepard. Shepard on Autry. Shepard layup. Good, and the foul. 42-38 LaSalle. Shepard will have the chance to add it, and he's hurting GW like sheep right now. Deshaun Shepard has taken control of these last few possessions, pushing the pace and extending a LaSalle run to now put them up, potentially up by as much as 5.
Chris Caputo is not much of a yeller. This is a situation where I would get into the huddle and I would just start kicking stuff around. This is the last year's season. This is how you want to send out one of the best players in program history. You got 9 minutes and 18 seconds to salvage whatever is left of his legacy and also win a game. Like, how much have they been talking, oh, this team is better than losing 12 games in a row, blah, 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 blah. When you do stuff like this, you can see why this team lost 12 games in a row. I mean, they got to turn it around, and they only have so much time to turn it around. So you're going to need Bishop or Buchanan to step up, or someone to step up. They've just really, really struggled offensively, especially in the second half, but all of today.
I mean, the most damning stat for this GW team is that no player has more than 2 field goals.
Yeah, wow.
2 field goals made, to be clear. And almost, someone from LaSalle almost made a cross-court putt, barely missed. Hopefully we'll be seeing the same from the LaSalle offense down the stretch.
He's got I think it's like a LaSalle baseball jersey. It actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, not bad. So who do you think the player for GW needs to be to step up? You know, someone needs to step up. Who would you like to see as?
I mean, personally, I would like to see James Bishop step up. He hasn't stepped off the floor. He's 2 for 11 from the field. Both of his field goals made have been from 3-point range. But Darren Buchanan's only taken 5 shots. So I mean, it's probably going to be one of Buchanan, Bishop, or Edwards, right?
Right. And we did see Max Edwards get off to a really hot start, and he has not made a shot since.
Yep. So,
not a great sign for the, I guess, no longer reigning A-10 Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
not anymore. Lost
Xavier
the
Brown.
rating as of
Xavier Brown
morning.
now. Xavier Brown's an incredibly talented player. He's very good. I watched him as a freshman at Roman Catholic play in the Philadelphia Catholic League final against Jalen Duran, with Jalen Duran, who's currently in the NBA, and against Rasul Diggins, who was sixth man of the year?
Sixth man.
Rasul Diggins, sixth man of the year. So he was on the opposing team. Archbishop Wood, which is the same school that Deshaun Shepard went to, who is shooting free throws right now. So full circle.
That's what we call a transition right there. Great radio. Shepard trying to make it a 5-point LaSalle lead, sharing the floor with Brantley, Yotus as he nails it, Sasasi, and Gill. 5 out there for GW, Hutchinson, Edwards, Bishop, Buchanan, and Akingbola. Hutchinson brings it up for GW. 20 to work with, just over 9 left in the game. Bounce pass to Bishop. Guarded by Gill. Now jumps down low to Buchanan at the foul line. Buchanan back out to Edwards on the right wing. Edwards takes the jab step 3 and nails it. GW needed that one as Max Edwards cut the LaSalle lead to 2. 43-41.
It's very rare that I see a Max Edwards shot and I'm like, oh, great shot, incredible shot. He just hits all of these shots that are maybe not the highest percentage.
Bit of contact there. Bounce pass to Sasasi goes up. Edwards couldn't quite finish on that one. Finish at the closeout, that is, as Sasasi scores. 45-41. Bishop has at the logo. GW still running a slow offense. That's the cutting Edwards. Edwards running fast, tries to get his revenge, and
there we go.
Max Edwards has come alive for GW. 45-43.
That's what we said. We need someone to step up. If it's Edwards, it's Edwards. But
Shepard passes to Gill. Gill working on Bishop out to Yotus. Yotus takes the 3. Too strong on that. Hutchinson collects the board.
Capito's telling him to try and get down the floor quickly. They don't go super quick, but
Bishop takes the 3 from Akingbola. Bishop working on Gill. Bishop driving. Bishop pump fake. Needs help. Loses the basketball on the floor. And foul called against LaSalle, against Anwar Gill, who kind of rolled on James Bishop a little bit there. And we're going to go to the under 8 media timeout. So we're going to take a quick breather here. It's really coming down to the wire here in Brooklyn. LaSalle 45, GW 43. Make sure that you don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the WRGW live broadcast of GW men's basketball, taking on LaSalle in the A-10 tournament. As always, the game is being broadcast live from Stephen E. Smith Broadcast Center. GW currently trailing LaSalle 43-45. We have some questions in the chat we want to answer. Question about GW alumni in the house. Well, I know of one, that being David Corden of A-10 Talk, former sports director for WRGW, is here covering the game, so I don't see anyone else. Liam, do you know of anyone here?
I have not seen anyone of note. Maybe if GW wasn't the 15 seed, then we would see maybe some more notable alumni, but no one as of yet. But who knows? Maybe we'll get Mike Hall running on the floor at the last moment. Who knows? We could sure use him. I'll tell you that much.
That'd be pretty great.
Does he have any eligibility left? So at the break, I noticed this statistic. GW has shot 21 shots from 2-point range from inside the arc, and they have made 5 of them.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I would say so. 23.8%.
Bishop, though, nails his first of 2 free throws, now 45-44, looking to tie the game here, as he's currently sharing the floor with Akingbola, Hutchinson, Buchanan, and Edwards. Same 5 that has been out for a lot of the second half. And Bishop's second is good, so it's a tie game, 45-45. Brantley has it for LaSalle. Khalil Brantley takes a screen from Yotis. Working in the paint. Brantley now going to take it out to the corner, over to Gill. Gill dumps down low to Yotis. Yotis on Akingbola. Now it's to Brantley. Brantley back to Yotis. Hot potato right now. Yotis working in the paint. Yotis double team. Yotis sees Hell has it stripped away. Ball on the floor.
Good play by Darren Buchanan.
Buchanan comes up with it. Darren Buchanan pushing the pace. Working on Gill. Buchanan in the paint goes up and puts GW on top. 47-45.
That is what GW needs to do more of. Darren Buchanan pops the ball out, forces the turnover in transition, sticks his body into him. Layup.
Jameer Brickus floater to respond. No good. Way off. Edwards the rebound.
Caputo telling him, slow down, slow down, slow down.
GW a 2-point lead, been a down second half after a very strange first half, but they are currently up by 2 points, just over 7 to play.
4 LaSalle players with 3 fouls. Valberg, Fasasi, Brantley, Gill, and Brickett. So those are 4 of their best players.
Buchanan working on Shepard. Buchanan picks out the Bishop, nearly stolen away. Bishop
4
with 4
seconds. Shot clock.
Bishop, step back, 2 on the shot clock. 3 is good. James Bishop not letting his final GW game beat tonight. 50-45 GW lead.
That was looked like a bit of a sigh of relief there from JB when he hit that shot.
Brantley working in the paint. Brantley kicks out to Shepard. Shepard's going to take the 3, and that's good. Jason Shepard, a highlight here today for LaSalle. Only 3 for 10, but he's had some of the afternoon's biggest plays. 50-48 GW lead.
As we are going to have a timeout here. I think it was LaSalle that took the timeout, but yeah, GW showing a little bit of fight here. Kind of after struggling. There's a little bit of confusion on the LaSalle bench, whether this was a full timeout or what. Lazy stuff. That's not how you win games. You got to know when to bring the chairs out.
It's very important. Well, that was a promising couple minutes for GW.
It absolutely was. I'm sorry. I'm still transfixed. Maybe transfixed isn't the right word. Interested in the LaSalle bench. Both benches are a little bit confused here. GW was late with the chairs out. This is not great, but it has been better in recent moments for George Washington. They headed into the last media timeout, down 45-43. Since then, they've scored 7 points, now up 2 points. As I mentioned before, I do think the foul trouble can be big for LaSalle, especially because they're 3 of their best players, even if I think 2 or 3 of them are guards.
Absolutely. They're gonna need to sort of, especially having Fasasi in foul trouble, they're gonna need to try and work other people onto Buchanan, who, for his fault today, has been pretty effective at drawing fouls.
Yeah, that is something that he is good at. The other thing is, if you get a switch where you have one of the guards that's in foul trouble, Brickus or Gill or Brantley, who are likely going to see, those are the 3 guards that LaSalle has, so they will be seeing virtually every minute down the stretch. If you get a switch, and you have a chance to maybe go at them, do it. Take it. See if you can draw foul on them.
Absolutely. Liam, I'm sorry, this is absolute insanity to me. LaSalle has shot the ball 60 times, 18 more times than GW has.
And GW is winning.
Yeah. Not often you see that. Buchanan takes the inbound, passes back to Hutchinson. Hutchinson now cross court, gets it to Bishop. Risky pass there. Bishop thinking about the step back. It's Salle drive in. James Bishop working, finds Akingbola. Akingbola loses the basketball, gets it back.
Akingbola's hands are just. If you watch GW basketball this year, you know that kind of has cement blocks for hands.
Buchanan looks like there was a defensive foul called. Gill charge called for the block, and Buchanan will go to the line for two. GW's in the bonus.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't have called a. Actually, no. Just saw the replay. That's a foul. So that's his fourth foul. I was thinking maybe it was happening right in front of us. I was thinking maybe it was a bit of a flop. Maybe I just wanted that because that's my favorite sign in college basketball when they do the flop warning.
Buchanan's first is perfect. 51-48 GW. Buchanan ready for second.
So I believe GW will be shooting free throws on every foul down the stretch here. They're now in the bonus.
And hits it. So now 52-48 GW. Brantley brings it up.
Stop here would be big for GW.
Brantley to Brickus to Gill. To Brickus, who's wide open for a deep three. And nothing but net on that one.
Jacoy Hutchinson went under that screen there. You cannot go under screens with Jameer Brickus. You just can't do it. So
GW holds on to a 1-point lead with just about 5.5 left to play. Bishop driving. Bishop layup is good, and the foul. What a move by James Bishop there.
GW's best players starting to kind of find their footing a little bit. James Bishop hit a big three-pointer as he's glaring up at the Jumbotron looking at the replay of the impressive play that he just had. But Bishop's kind of starting to get a big three-pointer.
But he misses the free throw.
The free throw, yeah.
Still only a 3-point GW lead. Remains a one-possession game, and the ball's in the hands of Jameer Brickus. Dangerous player. Now over to Gill. Gill takes it back out. 5:20 left in the game. At the logo, it's Brantley. Brantley working around. Brantley gets space. Jumper, no good. Too strong. Rebound, battle on the ground. Buchanan couldn't get it. There's players. It's a jump ball, and that will be GW possession.
They were like, that looked like two brothers wrestling. Like there was like, I saw like limbs quickly moving in one direction or another. I think they were actually, I think neither player had like possession of the ball. It wasn't like oftentimes on these jump balls, both players had their hands on it, but I think they were both trying to kind of angle their way to the ball.
You know, good effort by Buchanan to hold on to that one in the end. Though of note that LaSalle will get the jump ball down the stretch. That's especially big when your team is down. That's an easy way to potentially, not an easy way, but it's an effective way to potentially force a turnover. Inbound goes to Bishop, over to Hutchinson. 3 guards in the backcourt for GW right now. Hutchinson crosses half court, 5 minutes left to play. Potentially only 5 minutes left in the GW season. Hutchinson driving, loses the basketball on the ground. There's a battle for it, and Brickus comes up with it. Brickus pushing the pace. Brickus fakes on it.
Great
gets
finish.
the fake and finishes to cut the lead to 1. Got Akingbola to bite, who tried to block. Now all 5 players for GW are crossing half court at the same time as they maintain a 1-point lead.
Yep, Brickus kind of put his butt into Akingbola and kind of shimmied around him.
Bishop takes the 3 and connects. James Bishop's not done as a revolutionary yet. 57-53, GW lead, 4.5 to play.
Puts the 3 fingers up, sticks his tongue out a little bit. You know, why not?
Brickus has it on the other end, over to Gill. Gill on the left wing. Gill calling out for a screen. Gets it, but it's a fake screen, so he just switches on to Akingbola. Gill likes that matchup. Gill working in the paint, 5 seconds. Gill's got to get something. Gill finds Brantley. Brantley, 3 seconds. Brantley, 2. Brantley goes up as the shot clock expires and hits it. Oh my goodness. Khalil Brantley showing why he's been a standout for LaSalle all season.
One of those limitations of James Bishop's games, he's just not tall enough. His arms just aren't long enough. If it's someone who's a little bit taller than him, he can contest that a little better, but Brantley was able to get enough space to get the shot off.
Bishop takes a screen from Akingbola. Up 2, over to Hutchinson. Hutchinson nearly loses it, passed into the corner for Edwards. Edwards is going to take it back out on the left wing. Max Edwards Oh, Max Edwards loses the basketball. Got tipped there by Shepard, and LaSalle has a chance to take the lead. Down 2. Gill has it. Gill driving, kicks out to Shepard. Shepard goes up and is fouled. Now, Deshaun Shepard will head to the line for a chance to tie the game as we will head to the under 4 media timeout. But at this point in the game, with GWC's on the line, we're not going anywhere.
Absolutely not.
So, Liam, talk to me a bit about what you were seeing from the Revs in those last couple possessions.
Well, James Bishop started hitting three-pointers that he wasn't hitting earlier in the game. You know, that's kind of sounds simple, but that kind of was the difference. But yeah, I don't know. I would expect it to be the 5 that we've kind of have seen at least these last few minutes. It's going to be Edwards, Buchanan, Hutchinson, Bishop, and Akingbola for GW. And I want to go back to the foul trouble because LaSalle now has Anwar Gilson has 4 fouls, although in fairness, he is, I guess, technically a bench player, so.
But he's been very effective. I mean, he was really that spark plug that got them back in it when they fell way down early.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's a terrific player, but he has 4 fouls.
And the one, I guess, bright spot for LaSalle would be that if Gill does foul out, that gives them the excuse to get Fasasi back in, who has been effective on Buchanan most of the afternoon.
Yeah, but it's 2 different players. I mean, Gill's more of a guard and Fasasi's more of a forward, but I don't know, that could be kind of beneficial or negative, so I don't know, we're in for a tight finish, I'll tell you that much. Brickus and Brantley both have, or Brickus has 17, Brantley has 15.
Brantley has not seen the bench all game. 37 minutes played. Bishop's only momentarily seen the bench. He's at 36 minutes. Been a real duel between those two, both leading their teams in scoring. Or, excuse me, Brantley second on his team in scoring. He has 15 behind Brickus is 17. Meanwhile, Bishop far and away leads GW with 19 points. Most of them coming in the last 5 minutes or so.
So the player who's played the second most minutes for GW, Jacoy Hutchinson, freshman. So clearly they've ramped up his kind of role this year. Although he hasn't had his best game. 2 for 8 from the field. But that's a lot of the kind of the intangibles. He does have 5 rebounds, drawn 4 fouls.
I mean, Chris Caputo said that, you know, one of the strategies there for replacing James Bishop. Next year they have Jacoy Hutchinson. But right now, before you even have to think about replacing James Bishop, trying to keep him on the team for even just another day in this tournament, you got to have Jacoy Hutchinson and you got to have him do something.
So these games, these are jersey games, meaning you give up your jersey if you lose this game. This is the end of the season. You turn your jersey back in. And you never want to lose a jersey game. I played for coaches that pride themselves on. They know their record in jersey games. I've only lost 3 jersey games my entire career. So, big games. Those are the ones you want to win.
Absolutely. Shepard ready for first free throw and knocks it home. 57-56. GW clinging to a 1-point lead. Shepard getting ready with his second. Deshaun Shepard connects to tie game, 3:19 to play. James Bishop has the ball. It's the same 5 out there for both teams. No substitutions. Bishop brings it across half court. 22 seconds to work with. James Bishop matched up on Brickus. Bishop driving. Bishop double team. Bishop needs help. Gets that to Akingbola. Gets it right back. Bishop in the paint. Bishop goes up. It's no good. But his right height for the rebound goes out of bounds. Debate over who's it off of, and it looks like it'll remain GW's possession.
GW with the ball underneath the basket here. Bishop inbounding. Let's see what we got here. Maybe a foul? Some discussion between the referees.
I think Caputo, it might just be who it went off of, because it seems like LaSalle was pretty.
Is it under 2 minutes? You can't review that unless it's under 2 minutes. Oh, they're talking about the shot clock.
Bishop to inbound. Bishop trying to take it right back, but he's getting caught up on Brantley.
Brantley is, like, face guarding doesn't even do it justice how close he is to him.
Buchanan takes it back. Instead, he's guarded by Shepard. 10 on the shot clock. Buchanan is fouled. That's a foul against Deshaun Shepard, and I believe that is his only second. But still, almost every player out there right now for LaSalle, 2 fouls. they as a team have a bajillion fouls. GW in the double bonus, and Buchanan will go to the line to shoot 2.
You mentioned the possession arrow thing for LaSalle earlier, how that could be important down the stretch. I think the double bonus is certainly important for GW, but not if they miss their free throws like Darren Buchanan just did.
Been a problem the whole afternoon for the Revs. Now 16 for 23 from the line. Buchanan looking to fire another. And that one he misses too. So if GW lose this game, they're going to want those 8 free points back. Brantley will now bring it up for LaSalle. Brantley to Brickus. The connection that's worked for LaSalle all year. Now over to Gill. Brickus takes it back to the top of the key. Gets a screen from Yotus. Brickus working at the foul line. Brickus, setback jumper, connect.
He just needs just not even an inch of separation. And he created that between him and Hutchinson. Easy. He can make those in his sleep.
59-57, 2:10 to play. GW trails by 2. James Bishop has it in what could be his last game as a GW Revolutionary. James Bishop, matched up on Brickus, now switches to Brantley. Passes over to Edwards. Guarded by Gill into the corner. Buchanan's wide open for 3. He takes it, and he nails it. Darren Buchanan, the freshman, puts GW up by 1. 60-59, under 2 to play.
3-on-3 here. Buchanan guarding Gill.
Gill working, driving, kicks out to Brantley. Brantley at the A of the A-10 logo. Center court. Khalil Brantley, 12 to work with, 1.5 left in the game. Guarded by James Bishop. Now he passes over to Brickus. Brickus on Hutchinson. Brickus driving. 5, 4. Brickus sees something. Brickus, a prayer with 3. No good. Rebound. Getting tapped around, and Akinbola comes up with it.
Great rebound. LaSalle's been good on the offensive boards today, but that is big.
James Bishop's going to take it slow. GW up by 1, 1:10 to play. Crosses half court, 20 seconds to work with on the shot clock. He's at the 10 of the A-10 logo. Takes a screen from Hutchinson. James Bishop guarded by Brickus. 12 seconds.
This is James Bishop time right here.
James Bishop, jumper, no good. Rebound goes to Brickus. Bishop had a chance to put GW up by 3, but he couldn't connect. Now LaSalle's a chance to take a lead. Jameer Brickus brings it across half court.
Oh, I'm gonna have a hard time.
Brickus to Brantley. Brantley saw about the 3. Brantley's driving. Now he can take it back. 15 seconds. 45 left in the game. Foul called on the floor. Who was that against?
Hutchinson.
Foul called against Zakoy Hutchinson.
They have a few fouls against, so not the end of the world.
But LaSalle will get a chance to reset their offense, and they'll get more time on the shot clock, which I think is the big thing right now. Because GW is holding on to that lead. They want as much time as possible if LaSalle makes a bucket. If LaSalle's able to get those fouls that GW has to give and sort of milk the shot clock, and then they get to take the last shot, that would be a disaster for the Revolutionary. But it's 60-59 right now. GW a 1-point lead, 42.3 to play. Both these teams playing for their seasons. James Bishop playing for his career as a Revolutionary right now.
This is what you do it for. You got to lock in on defense here. LaSalle's been better offensively in the second half, but you gotta. I would imagine it goes to Brickus here.
It has to. He's so good. He doesn't even need a full brick of space, and he's able to make those shots. It's kind of incredible.
Yep, only 5 foot 11, but he's so shifty. You can see why he was named to the All A-10 third team this year, but LaSalle's already set up.
The listeners are streaming in. We've got a lot of people tuned in right now to this broadcast. 5 on the floor will remain the same for both teams.
So they're set up in like the I formation here. They got 4 guys in the line, LaSalle does. Coming out of the inbound. I imagine they'll all split in different directions.
Brantley to inbound. Brantley, people breaking. Brickus is open, but he's not giving it to him. Instead, goes into Gill. 20 seconds, 40 left in the game. Brantley has it stolen away.
Tapped away.
Tapped away by Hutchinson. Out of bounds will remain LaSalle basketball, and we'll see what they do with the shot clock here. I imagine it'll stay at 15, but if they reset it to 20, that'd be bad for GW. Looks like it'll stay at 15 with 37 to play. Gill will inbound. But I'm feeling pretty stressed right now.
What is that? 22 seconds between shot and game clock?
That's correct. Brantley has it. 10 to work with. Khalil Brantley out top to Brickus. Brickus with the logo. Brickus, 7 seconds. Brickus driving. Swarmed by Hutchinson.
Oh, they called that a foul instead of a...
Oh, no. On Zakoy Hutchinson instead of a jump ball. Would have remained LaSalle basketball anyway.
But not a shooting foul.
No, but does that put them in... I think that puts them in the bonus. It looks like Brickus is getting ready to shoot, too.
Nope.
No, my mistake. Now, next foul would be in the bonus.
Oh. Okay, LaSalle just took a timeout.
All right, so crazy couple possessions there, Liam. What'd you like? What'd you not like from GW?
I like the Jacoy Hutchinson defense. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll need to see a replay to see if it was a foul or not. Seems like James Bishop is kind of chatting with Hutchinson right now, who kind of, after a really strong few performances, has struggled a little bit in today and in the previous game. But yeah, 27.8 seconds. LaSalle's gonna inbound underneath their own basket. 7.8 second difference. So, you know, even if LaSalle drains the shot clock all the way down, makes their first shot, then GW will have a possession. GW still has 2 timeouts. What did we say earlier in the game? That GW wakes up tomorrow morning and they're no longer in this tournament. They will not be able to use those timeouts. So
having 2 timeouts, if you get a position where you're down for the last shot, is so huge, because if you have an inbound play that doesn't go as you drew it up, you get to reset. It can be the difference between getting James Bishop the perfect shot and not getting a shot off at all. But now, 27.8 left to play, a full 20 seconds on the shot clock. LaSalle down by 1. They'll look to inbound.
No I formation this time. They're kind of lined up, sort of free throw line extended.
Ball goes into Brickus. Brickus guarded by Hutchinson. Calls for defense from the GW faithful. Brickus backing down Hutchinson. Brickus gets Hutchinson to jump, and one for Jameer Brickus puts LaSalle up, and a chance to make it a 2-point game. CW has fallen silent, and the LaSalle fans are on their feet in the crowd.
Yeah, Brickus is just incredible. Yeah, that was a foul. Pump fakes. Got Hutchinson jumping. That's 3 Hutchinson fouls in the last like 15 seconds.
Brickus ready to free throw. Fires.
Oh,
does
wow.
not connect.
Missed
Rebound,
it.
Max
Yeah, you
Edwards.
got to get this over half court and then take a timeout.
20 seconds to work with. Buchanan does just that, and GW with 15.6 left in the game, potentially 15.6 left in their season, will look to draw up a game-winning play. If they're able to hit something,
Oh my goodness.
let's remember, LaSalle, no timeouts, so GW getting any sort of bucket would probably be the game.
Well, it depends on how much time there is left.
True.
If GW hits, if we got Fasati checking in here for LaSalle.
Fasati has done an effective job on Buchanan a lot of the afternoon. Makes sense that he'd check back in for this last possession.
You know what I wouldn't mind? I wouldn't mind checking Antoine Smith Jr. in for Babatemi Akinbola here. Akinbola is not an offensive threat, just to be honest with you. Although, you don't really need a 3, so I don't know. I don't know. This is why they do not pay me the big bucks to do this. This is why they just pay me the small bucks to sit courtside and pontificate about it.
Brickus, Shepard, Brantley, Gill, and Sasasi out there for the Explorers, and Autry will check in for Akingbola. For the Revs, same 4 on the floor otherwise. Buchanan, Bishop, Hutchinson, Edwards.
Who you give them all to here?
James Bishop, not even a question. Bishop gets the ball in the backcourt. 12 seconds. Bishop crosses that court. 10 seconds. Matchup on Brantley. Bishop driving. Bishop step back. Jumper. No good. Front rim, but Darren Buchanan's there for the rebound. Loses it. Bishop has it. Bishop with a 3 at the buzzer. Back rim. No good. And that will do it for GW's season. A heartbreaking end. 2 missed shots by James Bishop to end his Revolutionaries career. And LaSalle will advance in the tournament. Won a nail-biting 61-60 victory. And for GW, a long off-season ahead, full of questions. The biggest one, how do you replace James Bishop? Again, LaSalle 61, GW 60, your final score from Brooklyn.
Yeah, that is a really, really tough way for your season to end. I don't really have anything beyond that. I think GW probably should have taken a timeout after that, kind of when they got the rebound, and James Bishop threw up a kind of a prayer shot, but that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's basketball. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, well, that will do it. Also for you, Liam, this was your final game
my final
as part
broadcast.
of WRGW. You're graduating this year. you like take a minute, indulge a little bit, talk about what covering GW basketball has meant to you during your time at GW?
It has meant a lot to me. It has been like one of the most fundamental parts of my GW experience, and I'm gonna miss it a lot. But I'll definitely keep following this team and following WRGW. So thanks to everyone who's kind of listened along and read my writing, and I might be done, but WRGW and GW basketball is not.
Exactly, and we're not even really done on the season. We'll have a lot of coverage coming out on our blog, talking about post-game quotes, game recaps, everything good, off-season coverage, so be sure that you stay tuned for all that. Again, 61-60, LaSalle advances over GW, your final from Brooklyn, and your final for James Bishop as a GW Revolutionary. His final stat line, 19 points on 5 for 18 shooting, 5 for 9 from the free throw line, to go along with 2 rebounds and an assist in 39 minutes of play. Outside of those couple missed free throws, he did about all he could today. The shot wasn't falling, but he did what he could to keep GW in the game. But the only play anyone's going to remember is that last three that hit the back of the rim and ended his time as a Revolutionary. Liam, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I wish I could say it was a good season, but yeah, I'll miss it, and we'll have, if there's any super notable quotes, we'll have them up on the Twitter.
Absolutely. Be sure to follow us there at WRGW Sports. And until next time, until next November, I've been Nick Perkins.
And I've been Lima Murku.
Thank you all so much for listening and for following along with WRGW Sports this season. We hope you all have a great off season, and we'll talk to you again in 8 months.